Kathy Holman, my only sister, fell head over heels for the prince of the capital's elite circle at first sight. Just to create an opportunity, she didn't hesitate to drug him at a banquet. I didn't stop her at that time. In fact, I even gave her a hand to deliver the drugged drink. To top it off, I thoughtfully booked a luxurious suite to carry out for her plan. In my previous life, I tried to intervene when I saw her spiking the drink, warning her that the Miles family wielded so much influence, both in the legal and underground worlds. That means, messing with them would be equal to courting death. That night, however, Chester Miles ended up spending the night with another woman. By the next day, he was engaged with said woman in a flash announcement. My sister said nothing out loud about it. On the way home, however, she pushed me off an overpass. I was killed on the spot, my body crushed under a speeding truck. In my final moments, she screamed at me, accusing me of ruining her chance to marry into a wealthy family. When I opened my eyes again, I found myself back at the banquet on that fateful day. This time, I was determined to watch her dig her own grave. As I watched Chester drink the spiked wine, my sister stood at a distance, her eyes gleaming with scheming satisfaction. Within 2 minutes, the drug kicked in. Chester's face flushed unnaturally red. His private bodyguards immediately stepped in, supporting him as they escorted him upstairs. I gave my sister an okay gesture and handed her the room key. I was about to slip away when she grabbed my arm. She whispered with threatening tone, "Don't think I don't know what's on your mind. You're not going anywhere until the job is done. Stay outside the room and keep watch for me. If Mr. Miles's people show up, you'd better know what to say and what to keep to yourself." This time, I didn't stop her. I wanted to see just how far she could go with her schemes. My sister thought I would try to stop her. It was what I did in my previous life. Instead, this time around, I let go of her hand. Glancing at the bodyguards who had already taken notice of her from afar, I smiled and said, "Relax, you're my sister. If I don't help you, who else will? When you marry into the Miles family, just don't forget about this sister of yours, alright?" In my past life, she was convinced that I had ruined her chance to marry into wealth, blaming me for her failure and my gruesome death. This time, I won't stop her. I'd even help her every step of the way. Let's see how far she can push her luck. Kathy didn't think twice about it. Tossing her head back, she smirked proudly. "At least you know your place. Once I marry into the Miles family, I'll get you a driver or a secretary job. That should keep you fed and clothed for the rest of your life. When we get upstairs, keep your mouth shut. If anyone asks, just say you're a server waiting for Mr. Miles's instructions. And if you ruin my plans, you know the consequences." Her sharp gaze pierced through me as she grabbed my wrist and dragged me upstairs with her. The bodyguard stood at the door as my sister made an excuse about delivering water and went inside. I stayed hidden at the end of the hallway, keeping a close watch. Not long after, a heavy thud came from the room. Moments later, Kathy was dragged out of the room, unconscious, by a group of men. 5 bodyguards, wearing lecherous grins, dragged her into the room next door. Seeing this, I let out a sigh of relief and clapped my hands, ready to leave. Suddenly, a heavy blow struck the back of my head. Everything went black and I lost consciousness. When I came to, my limbs were tied to the bedposts with silk ribbons. In front of me was Chester's sweat-drenched face. My eyes widened in shock and I opened my mouth to call for help. Before I could, he silenced me with a kiss, his lips pressing firmly against mine. "Don't think I don't know there was something wrong with that drink tonight," he said, his voice cold and dangerous. "Since you delivered it, you can deal with the consequences." My cries for